Hello everyone and welcome to my beginner actor series. In this video, we're going to be talking about how you can produce your very own demo reel at home. I'm going to talk about what it is to have a demo reel, what it takes, and what you should be looking for, and essentially why is it so important. And all you're going to need is an iPhone or a digital camera. First things first, what is a demo reel? A demo reel is basically going to be your resume for acting, but in motion. This provides a casting director an idea of what you sound like, how you move, your expressions, everything beyond just a headshot. This is typically going to be a short video with a couple of clips, usually 1 to 2 minutes. This is what casting directors use to kind of gauge where you're at in terms of acting before calling you in maybe for an in-person audition. And usually these clips are from previous projects you've been a part of, but if you don't have any, do not worry. It is completely acceptable and actually not a bad idea if you just go ahead and film your own scenes to create your own demo reel, which is what I'm going to be talking about today. So I'm reading off of my list of things that you will need to get started. So first things first, a smartphone, or if you have a nicer digital camera, that works as well. Typically an iPhone 11 or newer is better just because they do have the cinema or cinematic mode, which can be useful, not always necessary, but I digress. Next, you're going to want a tripod or a sturdy surface. I am very pro just stacking a bunch of books in boxes if you do not have a tripod. Next, it's going to be a painfully quiet and well-lit space. And I say that because when you're presenting the demo reel, you don't want to have any random distractions or noises from neighbors, pets, washing machines, anything. And next, you may want to have a reader as well. So a reader is going to be someone who's off camera. You may be able to interject maybe the little bit of the back of their head depending on how you're filming the scene, but really you just need someone to read off part of the script. Next, you're going to need a simple backdrop or a backdrop that simply makes sense for the scene you're trying to film. If you're trying to do a courtroom scene, it does not make sense for you to be in the club reading stuff off. You know what I mean? But it's completely fine to be innovative and kind of work with what you got in order to film scenes at home. And this is optional, but if you have an external camera, something that can just pick up audio cleaner and better, that would also help you out a lot. I would say choose about 2 to 3 scenes that kind of reflect who you are or the characters you would like to portray. The most basic ones I would say would be a dramatic scene, then something more comedic, more lighthearted. If you happen to be naturally funny, please use that to your advantage. So many actors go into it with just doing nothing but serious scenes. I think that's so boring to watch. You will impress a casting director so much if you can actually make them laugh in your demo reel. That's a little tidbit I got from a casting director in Australia. And then I would say something that always works out well, a slice of life conversation, a back and forth about a relationship, sibling issue, whatever, just something that is clearly this could happen to you right now. And you can find scripts online. You can even maybe do some monologues that you've seen from some of your favorite shows. Just work with what you got. You can even write your own if you found that there's nothing that really reflects you personally. I think this is a great way to not only express yourself as an actor, but as an artist. Now, as far as what to wear, kind of going off of my previous videos pertaining to how to present yourself, you're going to want to look clean and natural. But obviously, if you have a role that's a little bit more rugged, I'm thinking like a Rue from Euphoria, your hair might be a little bit messy. Your shirt might have a stain on it. You're going to want to have your clothes obviously match whatever you're going through. If you're looking at something that's more of a drama, go with darker colors, blacks, browns, even dark grays, things like that. If you're doing something a little bit more comical, go with the really bright, preppy colors. Next, you're going to want to find a nice, quiet place to film. There are some places that you can go to that are distinctly set up just for filming little scenes, but really just looking for a nice quiet spot in your home or anywhere. I would even say if you don't have like a plain background, work with that. If you're filming something that's pertaining to a phone call, why not have the phone call somewhere on a bench or something if you know it's a little bit of a quiet part? I know personally for a woman who was looking to do a scene as a judge, and she just happened to have like this American flag she could use, a little bookcase behind her, so it looked like a very professional setting. Filmed a scene like that and actually ended up helping her get booked for a TV show. So one thing I would say, yes, there are the stereotypical rules you can follow, but the joy of being in a creative space, especially like entertainment, is that I feel as though being a little bit different gets rewarded. It gets you noticed. And that's kind of the goal. It's like, what are little itty bitty things you can do that are just a little bit more interesting? So if you don't have $1 million budget or these amazing film studios available to you, you can kind of just create your own thing. I know in Atlanta, there's one spot I've used before called CC Studios. I'm not sure if they're still available. I'm assuming they are. They have a whole bunch of rooms, one of which is like a jail cell if you want to do like a prisoner type of role. One of them was I believe like a classroom if you wanted to film like a teacher or kind of student role. And they had a couple other ones. One was like a church, which I think would be really interesting to film as well. Heck, if you saw Sinners, it'd be so cool if you did like something similar to that in one of the churches. Now, as far as how to film your scene, so everyone's used to like filming stuff for Instagram or TikTok like this vertically. What you want to do is just take your phone, film it all horizontally. It should all look like this. And when you're setting up everything on your phone, make sure you have it locked in or click the screen so it's locked in on your face. Especially if you're using the cinema mode, which I feel will help make it look a lot more dynamic because you have that nice depth of field. My cat was scratching something. And if you are using a reader, I think it's best to really just make yourself the focus of the scene. If you look at other demo reel scenes, sometimes they'll have literally just like the outline of the back of the person's head, but I feel like that would require having an additional friend help you film. To which if you want to go the extra length, by all means, make it a fun thing. And it actually would be better because you could potentially film so many more scenes if you could switch out with, try to do at least maybe 30 seconds per scene, film like a whole entire scene, and then maybe when you put in demo reel, you cut to whatever you feel is like your strongest. Really what you're going to be looking for is just 2 to 3 strong scenes, something comedic, maybe a slice of life, something more dramatic, and then from there, you're going to want to go ahead and clip it all together. Again, minor edits, maybe boost up the lighting if you feel might have been a little bit weird, but ultimately you shouldn't have to do too much. I know the big joke in entertainment is like, oh, here in Mexico, put this yellowish kind of tint to it. You don't have to do that for a demo reel. If you have some experiencing with editing or you know friends who are experienced in terms of editing, you can consult them as well. But you don't need to do the most. But if you like the idea of experimenting to see like, oh, maybe this is something I want to get more involved in terms of being in the film and entertainment space, by all means. And as far as for editing, I mean, I have my MacBook. They have iMovie on there, which is already comes with the laptop, but I'll just list a few. You can use iMovie, CapCut, or whatever other kind of film editing software that can be done on your phone or even on your computer. Also, no crazy transitions, no explosions, nothing crazy. just make it a simple transition. I sometimes will do a little quick fade to black. And lastly, in terms of editing, add maybe like a little card at the end that has a headshot and some simple contact info like your email, phone number. So I feel like that's all you really need in terms of just your basic demo reel starting out, just so they can see a little bit more of how you move, how you look, everything. And that's it, guys. That's how you film your very own demo reel at home. You don't need the most expensive equipment. You don't need to have the best lighting in the world or the most experience. Just using your iPhone or a basic DSLR camera will do the trick. And that's all you really need to kind of get started with acting in terms of having a complete acting package that you can submit to casting directors, that you can submit to auditions, and hopefully to submit to an agent or to get you hopefully on a show where you can get way better scenes. Hello, Pinto. Pinto may be joining us. But hopefully that helps you guys understand a little bit more of what it takes to just get started in terms of being an actor and how it doesn't have to be something that's gatekept and also doesn't have to be something you spend thousands of dollars on to first get started with. So as always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And even in the comments, let me know maybe what are some great monologues you want to try out for a demo reel, or if you have any scenes that you think would be really fun to do. I always love hearing from you guys. I just really like sharing the love and the information. But again, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye guys, and see you in my next video.